you understand what we thought just now and go back in what we saw with the orange and transformation of the information in a liquid. Now you put your gases here and you transfer the energy and the taste of the orange. If you understood from what we saw, let's go a very practical way. We have tested this in a very soft way in the past week. That's why we can explain it further. This is the bone marrow of the leg of a man. You can capture its essence, and you have another man who needs a bone marrow transportation or transplant. Now all you need to do is to transfer the energy without any operation. Death through disruption in amino acid in the immune system of the man is a history. If you can understand what is happening. What you need to do, if you have the box which we just seen, and you can create and hold the plasma of the amino acid of the bone marrow, which replicates it, and you can transport it. And allow only the field to interact. You can create a bone marrow which is defects and can cause the death of a child or whatever to be done. All you need, you transfer information. Because by eating it, you cannot do it, but you can change it directly by bone marrow, putting it in the elongated box which you've seen. This technology will change a lot of things which you are used to and you think cannot be changed. Would the inherited gene defects can be corrected this way? 100%. In the past few days, we've seen the approach from the leading health organizations, backed by governments. Because now there are huge opportunities opening up in changing the course of the suffering of the man in a very simple way. You change the orange taste to the water. Now change this water to the box which you just made. Hold this in essence in the plasma and transfer it the same way around the body of the bone of the man and allow to change the bone marrow. In the coming days, hopefully, if we get a clearance, we'll attempt the second, what we call coma condition retrieval, but more or less the same structure will be used. Where the man who is in a coma for a long time, if we can bring him back using the more advanced system than was used 6 years ago on the other patient.
Mr. Keshe, I have a question.
Who's that?
This is Robert.
Yes, Robert.
If you're creating materials within the body through transmutation, when we urinate, do these created materials come out of the body?
Yes. Let me explain to you. We had a very interesting discussion with Caroline and my son yesterday. And now I put it to you. I go quiet and let you think about it and we come back. What is one of your biggest problems within the first few hours of traveling in space is going to hit you? You're going to be faced with it. You have no choice. In space, we are not taking anything with us. And not especially toilet roll. What do you do when you go to the toilet? How do you clean yourself? Or would you be a bunch of smelly people walking around? How in space or do we carry a huge, what do you call it, cargo of toilet rolls, and when we run out, we have to come back to Earth? Or would you use a jet wash? You create a lot of water. How do we look after our sanitation in space? These are the things you'll face. This is the first time in 24 hours you've eaten on Earth. You board a craft and you're in space. Or do we do what the astronauts do, put it in a bag and throw it in space? But still, how are you going to clean yourself? You're not carrying any water, you're not carrying any tissue paper. Go back to your pens. Go back to the structure, the way you made the pens. When you made the pens, you created a pen with both gravitational and a magnetical. Do you feed yourself with a matter state to release matter state, or do you feed yourself with a magnetical, with what you need, and what you need you extract with the gravitational? Would man ever reject anything from his body in the space? And isn't the digestion system, the way we use it on this planet, is the cause of 90% of the fast early death? Or do we have to go through a system of gradually changing food to energy packages that we can control what goes in, what comes out, through the plasmatic condition? Now you understand where for a long time I've been telling you over 80% of the man energy comes from his environment, not through food.
Does also the 80% go out into the environment as it
Of course, you're
comes
part
in?
of it. Yes, because then somebody else uses it. This is why in space we depend on each other to be correct. We live through and amongst each other's energy. It's a very interesting. We were walking some time ago with Caroline, and she said, "Do you know what is strange? People of all color, races, and everything, when they go to a hotel or a holiday place or a holiday hotel, you go to Tenerife in the holiday camps or whatever, are not concerned about the color, the race, and whatever, because they are there to enjoy each other. How come when they leave the hotel and they go into their countries, they become so racist and the race and the color matters?" Do we or would we face the same thing in the space? Because you know, the Chinese man or the African man or the white man or the American or the whatever is your lifeline, because whatever he might not need is something you might need. And he can't mouth feed you, but without you knowing, you transfer energy from one to another. Those who work with the color of skin find out they have a very hard time to sleep in the space. Those who see the difference in language and color and size and race will not be able to contain and maintain their life in the space. So you'll see very soon how what the structure is coming into process. how the man will realize collectively we have to do it in one way. And that's why I said earlier on, one planet, one nation, one race. This, the feeding process, the mutation of the process of one element to another, becomes a cornerstone of the living in space. There'll be no McDonald's, and there'll be no Kentucky Fried Chicken, and no pizzas and the rest. But collectively we share energy as we need. If you look at it in the structure of the universe, all the galaxies do the same. All the solar systems do the same. What they don't need, they give, and they take from the environment what they need. Would we make the spaces where we go in for delivery of the food which we don't need? We make the taller rolls into plasmatic boxes. Take what I don't need, I take what I've used or what I need to take from the space. This is the future. There is no way, now that we open the space technology through a structure of the plasma, can change.